This podcast replay is brought to you by Moody's Dental, the implant and Invisalign experts. Take advantage of your insurance benefits for 2019 before the year runs out and they're all gone. Call 305-821-0231. Visit moody'sdental.com.
It is time to talk a little fantasy football. We do it every week with Andy Behrens
Help, Andy, help.
Yahoo Fantasy. The playoffs are here, folks. That's why you've got to get, of course, everything in order. You got to get all the information so you can beat your competition, and you do it by listening to this show every Friday with, of course, Andy Behrens, the man, the myth, the legend. Follow him on Twitter at Andy Behrens and catch his work at Yahoo Fantasy. Andy, good afternoon, my man. How are you doing?
Good afternoon. I'm doing pretty well. I have a fair amount of Allen Robinson in the portfolio, so I'm feeling pretty good right now. Got a little Zeke Elliott out there. So the playoffs have started right.
I like it. Yeah, Allen Robinson. That was a big move there. Bill came in all happy, not only because his Bears won, but the same thing, too. He was like, oh, man, Allen Robinson was huge for me this week. So, yeah, big time. That was
I got to say, like, Allen Robinson is having one of these – it's early in his career still. But he's having one of these careers that's like, you know how Brandon Marshall was just never attached to a really good quarterback? I mean, Allen Robinson – had a 1,400-yard season with Blake Bortles. He's having a huge year this year with Mitch Trubisky. Like, Mitch was fine last night. Mitch was really good. He ran well, all that. But obviously, Mitch over a full season, not a particularly gifted quarterback. Allen Robinson's never even played with a good NFL quarterback, and he's just had a terrific career. I love watching that guy.
Yeah, he's got some talent, man. It's nice to see him bounce back, too, from the knee injury. All right, let's get into some fantasy talk. If you guys have any fantasy football questions for the man, the myth, the legend that is Andy Behrens, send them in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. If you're watching on YouTube, you can send it in on the chat board on YouTube, also on Twitter at Big O Show, or, of course, on the DM on Twitter, because a lot of you like to do that. Send it in on DM, which, hey, I get you, baby. You don't want to clutter somebody's timeline, so do that. Send it in on the DM, and let's first start it off. Somebody's asking about Lockett or Chark. Which one does he go with?
Yeah, I gotta go with DJ Chark here. Obviously, he's had a breakout year, 8 touchdowns on the season. 5 of those touchdowns have come with Gardner Minshew as quarterback. Minshew, a guy more often than not going to throw multiple touchdown passes, and there's a pretty good chance that one of those goes to Chark. I don't know how you fully trust Lockett coming off the last couple weeks. You know, he's played through injury, barely targeted last time out, didn't catch a thing, put up a goose egg. I just think the floor for Chark at this point is much greater.
All right, so there you go, DJ Chark, for those of you that are answering. Austin Hooper, can you trust him this week coming off the injury?
Austin Hooper was, depending on your scoring system, possibly the most valuable fantasy tight end when he checked out. Matt Ryan, more often than not, is throwing for 300 yards, and Hooper's been a big part of that. So, sure, I mean, it would depend on the options, but I would play him over anybody other than, say, Kelsey, Kittle. That might be it. Maybe Hunter Henry, but that's it. I'd put him over anyone else.
Okay, and how about Julio Jones? If you're coming into the playoffs right now, Julio's dealt with so many injuries. You know he's a beast. He's going to play this week, but again, he could get banged up. So what do you do with Julio Jones if you're in desperation?
Yeah, it's a shoulder with Julio Jones, so I guess we worry a little bit less about, it's not a hamstring, it's not a calf, it's not one of these things that just in the normal course of doing business a player can aggravate. I'm fairly confident if he's going to start this one, he's going to finish it. And he's one of the, let's say, 5 most gifted receivers in the game. But his season's a little weird because it's another one of those Julio Jones years in which he just seems allergic to the end zone somehow. He's put up huge yardage totals. I'm not sure he's found the end zone since like September. It's been a long time. But I'm still going to play him. Matt Ryan is just going to absolutely pepper him with targets. Even if he's 90% this week, 85% this week, he's going to see 10 targets. The floor in any given week for Julio Jones is usually like 75 yards. So yes, I'm playing with relative confidence.
Dalvin Cook, a fantastic young man, a great talent, unfortunately, very injury prone, and a guy that you cannot trust. How do you handle it this week with him and Alexander Madison? How do you look at that?
Yeah, tough one. I think it would be, first of all, we heard almost immediately following the game last week that Dalvin Cook was probably going to be good to go in week 14, that it sounds like it's more or less a pain tolerance issue for him, but it is an injury that isn't just going away. I bet that he would love to, check that box of having played every game in the season, and he's still got a shot to do that, right? So, sure sounds like he's going to go this week. It also seems like it would be just gross negligence for the Vikings to give him like 25 touches. First of all, they shouldn't need it against Detroit. Detroit is a very generous defense in all respects. You can throw on them, you can run on them, you can do whatever you need to do. This feels like a game where the Vikings should have no problem getting out to a lead of some sort, holding that lead. And you'd like to think that given all that Madison has shown us, and he's been really impressive so far this year, they blocked well for him. He's picked up every yard that's there. I feel like Madison probably closes this game for the Vikings. And that, this is just me speculating, but that seems like a perfectly reasonable game script for them. So I'm expecting that Cook finishes with 70 yards, good shot at a touchdown, but that doesn't necessarily put him in that RB1 range for me. I feel like Madison is going to see 15 carries in this one, and that could make him a viable flex on his own.
All right, says here, Big O, need 3 in a PPR flex. Todd Gurley, Rashad Penny, Patrick Laird, Cole Beasley, Tevin Coleman, Duke Johnson, and Brandon Cooks. Holy crap. All right, did you get all of that? Gurley, Penny, Laird. Wait. Gurley, Penny, Laird, Beasley, Coleman, and Brandon Cooks. Oh, Duke Johnson and Brandon Cooks.
Really unfortunate, but you can't very well trust Tevin Coleman, who earned a start last week, but then barely played because Raheem Mostert was rolling. We still don't know the status of Matt Breida, but regardless, Tevin Coleman's had one big week this year in which he had most of his fantasy points, and I'm not going to trust him. Also not going to trust Brandon Cooks, who hasn't been seeing very many targets lately at all. I'm going to go Gurley. I'm going to go Rashad Penny, who clearly has a larger share of that rushing workload. The good news for Chris Carson owners is that he did not just get, sent to the sideline completely over the fumbling issue. He's still playing, had over 20 touches himself last week, but I'm going to go Penny, Gurley, and then was this a full PPR? He doesn't say half, so it says PPR flex. Yeah, you can think about. Oh man, this is so hard. You can think about Cole Beasley here, but it's such a difficult matchup against Baltimore. He's seen a lot of targets on the season, and he's suddenly, a guy that Josh Allen is looking to when they get in goal-to-go situations. He has a bunch of short touchdown receptions this year. But I'm going to go Laird. I'm going to go Patrick Laird. It's a fun little story. I don't think he's a sensational back by any means necessarily, but they're clearly going to throw to him, and they can put up points. This offense can put up points. Miami's kind of a fun team, right? As you know, they're still playing for flow. That's really exciting. I'm probably going to go Laird here. It's not going to surprise me at all if he sees more than 15 touches.
All right. All right. Somebody asked if Hooper's going to play this week, and I think he is.
Definitely, yes.
Yes.
He's cleared. Julio's cleared. Those guys are going to play.
And for those of you, it's Andy this hour, and it's Will Carroll in the next hour. So will follow up on all the injury stuff. We'll ask him about Hooper, but he is set to play. But we'll have Will Carroll next hour with all the important injuries to help you out, whether you're making an investment or you got some fantasy that you're trying to get to. If you want to send in a fantasy question, 786-322 1105 on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, and of course on Twitter at Big O Show, and also on DM you can send them in. So with Thielen out, Laquan Treadwell scored last week. Are we going to trust him? Do you actually risk Laquan Treadwell as a flex player in a playoff week? Any shot?
No, you don't. You simply don't. He went unguarded on his touchdown, like some sort of assignment breakdown there. He just ran down the field, and he was wide open all alone. It's not like he beat anybody in coverage necessarily. No, not trusting him. Kyle Rudolph has been the main beneficiary of Adam Thielen not because Rudolph has been used heavily in the red zone and goal-to-go situations. He's been a bit of a touchdown machine lately. So Rudolph is really the guy that is seeing an increase in targets, a little bit of BC Johnson. But the one guy who has clearly picked up value has, again, been Rudolph. I would not trust any other element of that receiving core other than Stephon Diggs and Rudolph.
All right. Alex is watching on YouTube. He's asking Pascal or Doyle.
Yeah, good question. No T.Y. Hilton, we assume this week, hasn't been able to get back on the practice field. It sets up relatively well for both Pascal and Doyle. Doyle coming off, it was an 11-target game, such a security blanket receiver. I think you have a much higher floor with Doyle. And as we've seen, again, he is benefiting not only from Hilton being out, but from Eric Ebron being an IR. So all of the tight end snaps that he can handle go to him and a bunch of targets. So I'm going to lean slightly to Doyle.
All right, good stuff there. What's the best wide receiver option with Juju Schuster-Smith out?
Yeah, that's a pretty tough situation too, and it is really important to remind people that the quality of quarterback play for Pittsburgh right now is poor. It's not like the best answer here is that you don't have to start a Steelers wide receiver. That said, we've seen James Washington deliver a couple of really nice games. He's gonna play plenty of snaps, and Deontay Johnson is also gonna play plenty of snaps, and he has been more of a roller coaster. He'll see a bunch of targets. He might see 5-6 targets. There's no guarantee that he'll pull in a splash play. But either one of those guys can be viewed as sort of a deep league flex. I don't see either one of them as a player who is an absolute must start, not tied to Hodges.
Okay, Ryan Tannehill. Is he a playoff option now with the way he's played? And this week they are playing the Raiders, and those are they're almost as well. They're actually maybe a bigger fraud than the Cowboys, and that's tough.
Yeah, I'll give you some fun facts on Ryan Tannehill. Multiple touchdown passes in 5 of 6 games. He is completing almost 73% of his throws. He's just been devastatingly good off of play action. And so you give a big tip of the cap to Derrick Henry there. Derrick Henry is a guy that defense is obviously here. Tannehill has a passer rating of 128 on play action. He's been even better in terms of accuracy. He leads the NFL right now with 9.1 yards per pass attempt, right? And again, a lot of that is that you just fear the running game so much there. And then he's facing an Oakland defense that allows 8.2 yards per attempt, one of the worst totals in the league. It's already allowed 27 passing scores. So this is unquestionably a good setup for Tannehill. I feel like, one of the big problems for him throughout his career, he takes too many sacks. That hasn't gone away. He still has some of the flaws that he's always had. But, man,
but the dominant running game in the line has really helped him out
makes
a lot.
A huge difference, right? It covers up some of the blemishes that this guy has.
Yes.
And he's just been flat out really good. These numbers are rolling in every week, and it's multiple touchdowns every week. So yeah, he's not only a plausible starter, I think he's a pretty strong top 10 starter this week.
Fantasy PPR need 2 to start. 2 running backs here between Hunt, Laird, and Lindsey.
Oh, good question. Lindsey has been a pretty big fantasy winner over the last month or so. That backfield workload has really tilted toward him away from Royce Freeman. Royce Freeman is also dealing with a bit of an injury right now. So I'm going to go easily Philip Lindsey here. I'm also going to go, I know I recommended Laird earlier, but I'm going to go Kareem Hunt in a very friendly matchup against Cincinnati. Cincinnati's another one of those defenses that, they're about the worst in the league against the run. They also give up a ton of passing yards per attempt. So very friendly matchup all around. And Hunt has been definitely part of the plan for Cleveland. So I'm going to go those 2.
All right, there you go. So You got Hunt and what'd you say?
Lindsay.
And Lindsay. There you go for that gentleman that sent in that email. All right, Darwin Thompson for Kansas City. Speaking of that, what do you think about his options there because of injuries?
Yeah, it's looking better and better for his playing time because we know that Darrell Williams isn't going to play. He suffered that leg injury last week, non-contact injury, and Damian Williams still hasn't practiced. I believe that Damian Williams did not practice today on Friday, and this is obviously a critical practice session. So if Damian Williams isn't going to go, then it's going to be an awful lot of Darwin Thompson. He was a fun player in the preseason, fun story. Yes, LaShawn McCoy is there. The thing with LaShawn McCoy is that they don't fully trust him. He's obviously an older player. He still hasn't played 50% of the snaps in any game. I don't necessarily think it's going to happen this week either. So you're going to see a lot of Darwin Thompson. He's basically going to get the workload that you would normally expect for Damian Williams. So that's a pretty good spot. They are playing the defense that ranks number one in the league in terms of DVOA. The Patriots are really, really good, but they have not been great against the run. That's one of those sort of Belichick things, right? Like he's not a stop the run first kind of coach. They give up about 4.5 yards per carry. So not a bad spot at all for Darwin Thompson. I don't see him as an RB1 necessarily, but it's somebody who kind of lives near that RB2 flex line. Yeah, I think he's definitely in play.
All right, let me ask you this final fantasy question on our end here. The Dolphins, looks like they've actually developed a tight end. So has Mike Gesicki turned into a starter in a 12, 14, or 16-team league here in the playoffs?
Yeah, so the short answer is yes. I think he's a starter in a 12-team league. He's sort of right at that line. It's not at all like maybe Gesicki disappointed you early in his career. It's not at all uncommon for tight ends to not even develop until their second contract. It's a tough position because you're part of a couple of different groups, right? You're part of the receiving corps, and you're also basically part of the offensive line with most teams. So it's just a hard position to transition to at the NFL level. He's really coming to his own. They're throwing to him a little bit more. It's been a kind of frisky offense with Ryan Fitzpatrick lately. Obviously, Parker's playing well. So sure, I think he's a guy you can play. Like tight end has been a minefield. You know, we just have Austin Hooper coming back. There's really only about bringing up my tight end ranks right now. There's like 6 guys that we can feel good about in any given week, and most leagues are 12 teams. So beyond that, yes, the short answer is right answer. He is definitely a tight end that you can count on.
There you go. All right, follow him on Twitter at Andy Behrens. Andy, tell him about Yahoo Fantasy on Sundays, baby.
It's my third day of the week. We got Fantasy Football Live coming up 90 minutes before kickoff. It's the entire Yahoo Fantasy crew sitting around answering your questions, giving you breaking news if there's any weather. We actually have a trained meteorologist on staff who can tell you about that too. So every piece of information you could possibly want, we will have for you. Fantasy Football Live, 90 minutes before kickoff on Sunday.
That's right. And remember, Andy joins us twice a week now. Wednesdays, we do fantasy basketball at what is it, 2 o'clock or 2 o'clock, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, 1 o'clock, actually. No, it's 1 o'clock.
It's my time. No,
it is 2 o'clock. No, you're right. It is 2 o'clock. That's right. I'm sorry.
2 o'clock your time.
Yeah, 2 o'clock. We do it fantasy basketball on Wednesdays, and then on Fridays we do fantasy football. All right, and follow him on Twitter at Andy Behrens. Andy, as always, you're a stud, my brother. Thank you for taking some time.
Thanks, Big Al. Good luck in the playoffs, everyone.
You got it, baby. There you go. The great Andy Behrens. Love it.